Hello, I'm Dan Rather, and welcome to the CBS Evening News online edition. Just ahead, in the hot seat, the Secretary of Defense faces some tough questions from U.S. troops overseas. We'll show you how he did and did not respond. Also, after 5 years of testing, the results are in on a promising new breast cancer treatment. We'll give you details on that. And they've always been popular and closely watched. So why has the Hawk family, make that a family of hawks, been evicted from their Fifth Avenue building? It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News online edition. He runs the whole U.S. military. They are a military force under stress. Army reservists soon to enter Iraq and likely to meet the enemy in combat. So face to face today with the boss, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld, the grunts exercise their American right of free speech. As CBS's Kimberly Dozier reports from Baghdad, they asked some pointed questions about how the war is being conducted and criticized the equipment they've been given to fight it.
After another day of violent attacks against American forces here, the tough-talking U.S. Defense Secretary got some tough talk from his own soldiers today at a Kuwaiti base near Iraq. There was criticism for everything from lack of equipment to extended duty in an unfinished war.
Now, why do we soldiers have to dig through local landfills for pieces of scrap metal and compromised ballistic glass to up-armor our vehicles, and why don't we have those resources readily available to us?
Something many had obviously wanted to ask. But the Secretary gave as good as he got.
As you know, you go to war with the army you have.
And he said there's only so much you can do to stop this.
You can have all the armor in the world on a tank, and a tank can be blown up.
Rumsfeld told the troops the top brass is delivering new equipment as fast as it can be made and doing what it can in the meantime.
You got this built here.
On this door, right.
Yeah.
After each attack, special teams investigate what else can be done to protect the soldiers and try to fix it.
Thank God we had it in there, or we'd have soldiers lose some legs.
Soldiers must now wear eye protection and earplugs, for instance, whenever they hit the road, after dozens lost eyesight or hearing from explosions. And after so many gunners were cut down, they've added a skirt of armor to protect them from a hail of shrapnel from below. Troops now use everything from electronic jamming devices to stop remote bombs from being triggered to attack helicopters above convoys to spot the threat ahead. Still, many here feel they're always one step behind the enemy.
The frank talk didn't amount to what you'd call a break in the ranks, but many are frustrated and angry that it took so many American lives before gear and tactics were changed. Kimberly Dozier, CBS News, Baghdad.
There's important health news tonight for women with breast cancer, and CBS's Sharon Alfonsi reports it's good news about a drug designed to keep the cancer from coming back, the most effective drug yet.
Yvette Tomsek has 100 things she's got to do before Christmas, but one thing is not on her list.
I have no intentions of dying from breast cancer. I'm cancer-free, and I intend to stay that way.
Yvette was diagnosed with early-stage breast cancer in 2001. After chemo and radiation, she started taking a drug called Arimidex, and that, she says, has kept her cancer-free.
It's out of here. It's going to stay gone. I don't have time for this again.
A just-completed 5-year study found that when it comes to stopping the recurrence of breast cancer in postmenopausal women, Arimidex clearly outperforms tamoxifen, once the mainstay of hormonal breast cancer treatment.
The women who took the new drug have fewer recurrences, and higher number of women are alive free of cancer.
Why is it so effective? Well, Arimidex actually prevents estrogen from being made, and estrogen is the hormone that promotes the growth of most tumors in postmenopausal women. So using Arimidex, according to the study, might be able to prevent up to 80% of new tumors, compared to the 50% tamoxifen is credited with warding off.
I think we have a potential to keep much larger number of patients alive, free of cancer.
The promise of drugs like Arimidex is so great, the doctors imagine a day when all postmenopausal women use it to actually prevent breast cancer.
A drug of this class that can dramatically reduce the odds of them getting breast cancer with very few side effects. So the potential for these drugs in terms of cancer prevention really is very exciting.
Exciting for women like Yvette Tomsek, who know the greatest gift this year may be another year cancer-free. Sharon Alfonsi, CBS News, New York.
Some longtime residents of New York City have been unceremoniously removed from their home, a fashionable place on the east side. Most of their neighbors wanted them out. But CBS's Anthony Mason reports the eviction has ruffled a few feathers just the same.
It's so magnificent.
For more than a decade, the hawks that lived at 927 Fifth Avenue were a New York City landmark. Their nest, a piece of prime real estate overlooking Central Park. But yesterday, the building abruptly evicted the birds in what nature lovers called
a disaster and a tragedy.
What they did.
Link and Kareem saw a work crew remove not only the nest, but the metal spikes that had helped hold it in place.
I started screaming even more. I said, why?
Kareem has been a devoted follower of the birds, the most famous of which, Pale Male, became the subject of a PBS documentary. Pale Male fathered at least 23 hawks in the nest that's now gone.
It's hard to look. It's hard to look.
Birdwatchers Star Sapphire and Marie Wynn, who wrote a book, Red Tails in Love, about the hawks, were near tears today.
This is mean. It's mean.
Mean-spirited.
Mean-spirited.
But to many of the building's residents, the birds had become a nuisance. Hawks prey on pigeons, and occasionally the carcasses of dead pigeons would drop inconveniently on the building's doorstep.
We were told that everyone in the building had been polled, and they all agreed that the birds should go.
All except actress Mary Tyler Moore, who called the actions of her neighbors
pointless and heartless.
But the building may have been within its rights. Have they violated any law?
We're looking into that right now at Audubon.
David Miller heads New York's Audubon Society.
Pale Male is as much of an institution in New York City as the Empire State Building. And to call it a nuisance is to why don't we get rid of the Empire State Building?
They had come to symbolize nature enduring in the urban jungle. But tonight, the hawks of Fifth Avenue are homeless. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
More stories are just a click away, but be sure to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Thursday's broadcast, sharing story time from the war zone. We'll show you a new program that lets sailors and soldiers read to their kids from half a world away. For CBSNews.com, I'm Dan Rather.